Hello, my name is Jinnah Walker, and this is my favorite thing about personality psychology, the psychosexual stages of development. So, why is this my favorite thing about personality psychology? One of the really cool things I think about psychology is that personality describes exactly who you are, and psychology gives us a way to better understand why people act the way they do and are the people that they are. And there's so many cool theories that we can focus on, but for this one, I'm going to focus on Sigmund Freud's psychosexual stages. So, before we can discuss how personality develops, we first have to discuss what the personality even is to Freud. According to Freud, there are three structures that make up a person's personality: the id, ego, and superego. The id is the primal instinctive portion of the personality that is only focused on instant gratification and is not aware of reality. The id can only satisfy its needs through a reflex known to Freud as the primary process thought. The ego is the more rational structure of personality. It tries to satisfy the needs of the id in a more practical manner with the reality principle. Unlike the id, the ego accounts for the secondary process thought, which adults are taught over the years to use as a way to satisfy their needs of their id. Freud's last component of personality is the superego. The superego is what some may refer to as the perception of right and wrong. It consists of the conscience, which is created from behaviors that people are punished for as kids, and the ego ideal, which is created by the good behaviors which were praised. Unlike the id and ego, the superego's goal is moral perfection, not pleasure or achieving realistic goals. Freud's theory of personality is that everyone is driven by the same id impulses, but our egos and superegos work differently, therefore changing our experiences and overall personalities. Freud developed his psychosexual stages of development by connecting each stage to a part of the body that he believed had a strong sexual conflict associated with the different ages. These conflicts have to be addressed and resolved before a child can progress to the next stage. If for some reason the child cannot move past a particular stage, they develop a fixation that prevents them from completely moving to the next stage. These stages are oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. And as you can see from this chart, it outlines all five of the stages along with the time periods that a person is expected to go through these different stages in their life. Because Freud believes that the personality is fully formed by the age of 5, only the first three stages have factors of personality that become affected if a fixation develops. For each of these three stages, there are two separate fixations. An oral fixation can make a person more or less dependent, an anal fixation can make someone more or less obsessive, and a phallic fixation can control how competitive one is. So there are two types of oral fixations. They're oral passive and oral aggressive. The passive fixation of the oral stage is caused by the pleasure of the mouth stimulated by food. It can lead to adults who are more attracted to oral activities such as drinking and smoking during adulthood. As children, orally passive people have high levels of optimism, dependency, and a need for gratification, which later turns them into gullible, overly trusting, and dependent adults. On the other hand, there are orally aggressive people who become fixated during the painful teasing stage as an infant. This painful fixation is associated with being argumentative, aggressive, dominating, sarcastic, and excessively pessimistic. For an anal fixation, there are two types of people. There are anal expulsive and anal retentive. An anal expulsive fixator was created during the potty training phase who reacted to the frustrations of toilet training by defecating whenever and wherever they please instead of the schedule that the parents are trying to enforce. These children turn into anal aggressive personalities that form the basis of cruel and sadistic adult behaviors and tend to have temper tantrums and misbehave more. On the other hand, there are anal retentive fixators, and they react to their frustrations during toilet training by holding back their feces and may see it as another way to manipulate their parents. These people become stubborn, stingy, compulsive, neat, conscientious, and often hold back their feelings as adults. Unlike the other stages, the two fixations that are distinguished by gender when it comes to a phallic fixation, the Oedipus complex for boys and the Electra complex for girls. The basis of each is the unconscious desire for the child of their parent of the opposite sex and hatred for the parent of the same. The Oedipus complex in boys leads to castration anxiety created by a fear of retaliation from the father to take away the boy's source of pleasure, the penis. The Electra complex is similar, however, Freud believes that the hatred of the daughter towards the mother is caused by the girl's lack of a penis that she deems to be the fault of her mother. If a phallic fixation occurs, both genders experience difficulty having mature heterosexual relationships and need constant validation and recognition to prevent them from feeling inadequate. Males with a phallic fixation tend to be more vain, self-assured, and express their masculinity through their sexual conquest, while females are motivated by their penis envy and exaggerate their femininity to charm and conquer men. And that is the end. This has been my favorite thing about personality psychology, Freud's psychosexual stages.